time for another update, and today I wanted to address the perspective on 2009, the article that I wrote. Actually, a few months ago, I originally put it out for the Sedona Journal because they need everything 2 months in advance. And in that art, in the December edition for Sedona Journal, it was called "Making Choices." But it's actually my perspective on 2009 and beyond. And I wanted to discuss that today because I got a lot of feedback about it. And if you haven't followed this work, a lot of it may not make a whole lot of sense to you. Unless, of course, you're a grid worker, then it makes a whole lot of sense. But it basically talked about the future events that the Nibiruan saw coming up between 2009 and 2012. And it talked about how we can change those events. The four in particular that they discussed in that article were the inundation of the Southern California coast. I mean, we've been hearing about that for a long time. I think there was an earthquake a nuclear attack around the Phoenix area, which we've been talking about for a long time. I think the Madrid fault, the new Madrid fault giving way, and a fake first contact scenario. All of these have been timeline events that have been on the books for, well, a long time. And what I didn't explain to people in that article was that all of these have been mitigated or changed to some degree based on the work that you and I and many others have done in creating templates in those areas. Templates are basically blueprints that we put into the grid to change or alter an event as it begins to take place. So I spent 2005 in particular going around to different areas, and you can read about the 2005 and beyond template work that we did on the website under workshops. And my goal was to open up these timeline events, and with a group of people that would come together, we would change our response to a particular situation, thereby creating a blueprint for that new behavior when the event occurs in the future. So as a result, what had a 90% or greater chance of occurring has now been downgraded significantly. Each one is different, but they are still on the books. That's the point. They are still in the books. I talked to the Nibiruans before I wrote the article and said, do you want me to put down that these have been mitigated? And I got no, because as soon as people hear that they've been mitigated, they're going to go, well, okay, well, I don't have to really work on these. Well, they're still at proportions that can have pretty significant effects. So they're not downgraded to the point that they're just going to be minor incidents. So that's why they didn't want me to put that in there. I said earlier that I'd gotten comments about the article. I got comments from people who are flipped out and freaked out about, in particular, the nuclear attack on Phoenix. And I'm like, that's involved. That's part of the war with China, which is ongoing right now. But it's underneath the radar for most people, because most people don't realize that we're in a weather war and an economic war with China at the moment. And because of the global economic crisis, it's kind of been put on the back burner so that it gets even less attention, but it's still there. Those who look beneath the surface are aware of this. Those who just see go by what they see on TV are not going to be aware of this. The thing is that we have to keep choosing compassion. We have to keep integrating the light and the dark and seeing the things that we see as dark as valuable. That is compassion in action, when we see all things as having value, even the things that frighten us and make us angry. Everything is there as our teacher. And when we realize that, then we are more in control of our reality. And that's what the article was about. It was basically saying, this is the future events. They're still on the timelines because these are repeats of events that have happened in the past, not just on Earth, but on other versions of Earth. And we who have incarnated here have brought these events forward, once again trying to play them out to a a compassionate ending. And so they're still there. But as I said, we all have an impact on these. All we have to do is keep integrating our fears, and these events will continue to be mitigated and minimized, and to the point that some of them may not occur, or they will, if they do, it'll be very, very minor. So go back and read the article and keep that in mind, and know that, you know, we've done a lot of work. You and I have done a lot of work, but there's still more work to be done, and these final 3.5 years are going to be the most challenging. I mean, all of our big fears are coming up. And on that note, I've got one I'll share next week that I think many of you will relate to, and hopefully I can give you some help with that. So until next week, take care. If you are concerned about the future, what 2009 looks like for you, what you need to be working on right now to help you move forward and clear your blocks, and consider a counseling session, and especially the new emotional clearing session that I am now offering, to be able to help you get a jump start on those and begin to make some positive changes in those areas and clear them away. All right, take care. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.